Okay, so one of my priorities was making a filler post. Since we have finished making posts about the recent boreholes, so it was just a filler post, not necessarily about a specific borehole. So I decided to put up a video together, a video that captured the action parts of the 3 boreholes we recently did, just putting the piece together, which I posted on Facebook and Instagram only. Yes. Then another one was to work on or continue doing some research on SEO and social media, which is currently still going on. I had some courses I'm currently taking. Yep. And there was another one about the Zephy account, which the CTO and he had granted access to me on the Zephy account, where the template for the newsletters will be rolling out soon is. So that is what we are currently looking at. So for the week, these are the priorities I have been working on.
That's wonderful, Benny. That sounds really good. Nice work.
All right, thank you.
And Salam, could you give us an update? Oh, we don't have Salam. All right, I have one more, and then we'll wait a little bit for Salam.
Okay.
The taxes have been completed and filed for 2024. The CFO, Kevin, will work on 2025 budget analysis when he returns from their vacation.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really all I got. The last one today.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I have a question before we wait on Salam.
Yeah.
Okay. Please, Megan and Elena, I don't know if you've been informed about we collaborating to make a blog post or something. Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to see. Yes. So my last meeting, the CTO indicated that we, and the CEO as well, that as part of a filler post, we could work on a blog post that indicates the impact of the withdrawal of US aid on our projects and generally on health matters across the world. So he said I should collaborate with you on that. I don't know if you've been given any updates or if that has been mentioned to you.
I hadn't heard anything about that, Benny, but I can definitely send you over like a couple of news articles or something like that that kind of talk about the withdrawal of U.S. aid and what effects it's had on the world, so that you can kind of use that for like facts and information and kind of see how the Trump administration's decision has been affecting like global aid. I can definitely send you that stuff.
So
Okay, yeah, I think that would be helpful. Yeah.
I know he was at my house, but he made a like a podcast thing, and he put it in Discord, and it's like 6 minutes long.
Papa did?
Yeah, about the withdrawal.
Okay, we can probably include that in the blog post depending on how he posted it.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I also saw that he posted something too about that. Yeah. Because they are not available at the moment, I would have asked him about we just using that script. But I think we, as Elena has mentioned, we can also put up something together as maybe we wait on that. Yeah, though what he kept saying was very resourceful. I read through it and it's so in depth. But then whatever Elena has to, we can look at adding all that and pushing it up in the blog post. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. If the two of you, Elena, if you can just help Benny with that, whatever he needs, that would be perfect.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. I think we wait another minute for Salam, and then we'll see what happens, because I don't have anything left on the agenda for the meeting. After that, how's the weather in Ghana, Benny?
Yeah, it's cool. Of late we've been having a lot of rain. Yeah, so since morning it has been raining. These are the seasons where we experience a lot of rain. So we are enjoying the season at the moment. After December we might not have rain for some months again. Yeah. And how is it over there too?
That sounds super nice. I wish we had rain here. We have no rain.
Oh, I see.
And it's just
Okay,
warm.
I see. And the weather, how is the weather like the temperature?
It's like in the hundreds, 110.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah, currently I think we are enjoying the weather here. No, we don't use our fans that much, but when of course after December it's gonna come in.
And he lives in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
Well, I'm unsure as to where Salam is, but without him to give further updates on his project, we don't really have anything else to cover. I will reach out to him and see if he maybe type us a little update in Discord. Speak of the devil. Salam. Welcome, Salam.
Thank you. Sorry, I am some minutes late. I have
No,
my
you're
son,
fine.
so I almost forgot.
Oh, you're fine. You're perfect timing.
Thank you.
Would you like to give us an update, Salam? We just, Benny gave us an update on what he's been doing this week and what he's going to work on going forward. And the taxes have been completed and filed, and Kevin's going to work on a budget for 2025 when they get back from vacation. But that's all you really missed. Nothing much this week.
Okay. Yes, so I have been working on I set up the project 75 for the health fair at the office, but I had to hold on with the purchase invoice because prices of supplies have gone up. So I have provided updates on the family office channel and waiting for the Presido's approval on the quantities and the number of screening services we can provide given the new prices, which will mean that our budget for the events is going to change, increase upwards. And so that is where I am with Project 75. Then also the company registration. I'll be picking up the certificates this week, and after that we'll proceed to complete the bank account information for setting up the account for the company, for the organization. I think apart from that, yes, I'm just working on the travel budget as well with Ben. So
Lovely.
Yes, that's where I am.
Perfect. After that, I have no more for the meeting. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and I will talk to you guys next week.
Sounds good. Have a good week, guys.
All right. Have a wonderful
Thank you.
evening. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's what she said. I'm going to turn off my video so that we have better connections. And yeah, we can go. Welcome everyone. Grateful you're all here.
Yes, for sure. All right.
And we did listen to the meeting from last week. Thanks for running that, Danny and Elena, getting all of that settled out and recorded. That was helpful. Yeah, so we can go ahead and start this week's meeting.
Perfect. So I know typically we start out with Ben and Salon's priorities, but they're a little bit different since last week's meeting because a lot of it has been happening in Discord. So do you want to talk about the USAID blog posts first? Which one do you want to?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Benny. Yeah, Benny. You can. Actually, Benny, if you could just start us off and give us an update. I still think that that's a good place to start, and then we can focus on other things that we might be working on or questions that we have.
Okay. Yeah.
Great.
So before I start, I'll just start how the holidays are going. We missed you last week, and it's great having you here today.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
USAID posts, and also working on how we can have someone among us edit our future articles. Salam and I.
I'm sorry, Ben, you broke up.
Or is it us?
No, it's not you guys.
It's not us?
No, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Benny, could you go ahead and repeat yourself? I think you broke up.
Make sure that Ghanaian content that is on Wikipedia and other Wikipedia-related platforms are sanitized and they are in they are not misleading and they are more reliable. So we settle on me joining that community to start how we can learn from them. Yeah. Also, I made mention that I was speaking with a friend who is into communications as well for an organization, and I was asking him if he has any knowledge on Wikipedia that maybe we can pick it from there. He said he has also been doing his research. He's considering going into that. But one thing he noted was that Wikipedia, there are so much with the external links. They focus much on the external links, that he has seen cases where people publish their articles, they approve them, and then after some few weeks or few days, they sometimes pull them down. So his advice was that we need to work on our sources very well before we would begin with anything. And he said that when they notice that you are providing sources that got the content almost the same time, assuming we are providing sources from 4 different external sources, then they realize each of you make a post today or within the same week, the post came within the same week, they sometimes feel suspicious about that and they do not approve the draft you submit on Wikipedia. So with this information, I think it will be very helpful for us to know how we start the planning, the work we will do outside of Wikipedia. We make the preparations very well before we can kickstart. Yes. So on the Wikipedia, these are some of the things I have noted on that. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, I think it's really important that, like you said, that we get our sources down, and this goes along with some of the discussions we were having within Discord about paying for some media outlets to do our story. My question is, when we, and this goes to either you or Salam, I don't know who will be working on it, but when we go to these news sources, I think, do we give essentially our blog posts, or do we give the formal paper and then they write from that? How should we proceed on that, Benny, when we go to news outlets?
Yeah. So I think even if we are providing something for them, whatever they are writing out there should be in a neutral tone. That is one thing they consider. It shouldn't come up like something that is directly coming from us. I think Wikipedia, one thing they do not do, they do not like to promote direct content. So all these news channels we're reaching out to, we would have to make sure that whatever they are putting out there should be neutral, just like they reporting or talking about us.
Right. And so with that, I think that the paper that I wrote is meant to be non-positional, but more factual about the USAID stuff. So does that justify, or is that the kind of content you want to provide to the news outlet and then they'll write from there? Or is it something that we need to condense down a bit from, I believe it's 18 pages or more, maybe 18 pages, that the paper that I wrote, that we should condense that down into a single paper that they will post. I don't know how, if we're talking about 3,000 word kind of post or we're talking about 1,000 words. I don't know if Elena has any insight when working with news outlets, how to best do that, or Megan, with regards to what might be best. I'm open for ideas and willing to help. I believe that position paper, or that was not a position paper, that was a research-based paper. So they should have no problem not only publishing it, but Wikipedia, once it is published, should be fine accepting it. Do you agree with that, Benny?
He dropped.
Benny, are you there?
He dropped.
How do you know? Oh, shit. Okay, can anybody else hear me? You're all muted. It looks like Benny dropped. Oh.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, thanks, Elena. Benny, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. I think my app froze. It wasn't responsive.
Okay, no problem. So I was just saying I was saying when we give to the news outlets the research paper that I wrote about the impact of USAID is clearly not a self-promotional type document. I'm wondering if that is something that you want to give to the news outlet at 16 pages or 18 pages, or if you want to condense that down into a smaller 1,000 word non-position paper, but a factual based paper for it to be published and be used in the future on Wikipedia, or how do you think we should do that? Also looking for any input from Elena with regards to interacting with news outlets, or Megan, who might have experience in that area. Go ahead, Benny.
I think you might be muted, Ben.
Benny, I think you're muted. Or you dropped.
Oh.
Elena, do you have any comments or thoughts on that?
On using like what we write and sending it to a news outlet, is that, am I understanding?
Yeah, like the research paper that I wrote regarding the U.S. aid impact. What should we do? What should we give the actual news outlet? Or maybe, yeah, what do you think? We need to give them a condensed down version, they're just going to publish it? Or we give them the research paper and they write from it? Which is better?
Probably, well, they're probably going to write their own thing. So you could write like a press release and then, excuse me, in the press release, like link to the research paper so that they can go through and get like the information that they want. I'm going to guess that they're going to write like their own thing from it.
I see. Okay, so you're thinking a press release, and then the press release would be sent with a link to the research paper I did, and then they'll write a non-positional paper, or non-positional article essentially about the impact of USAID, mentioning Give Basic Needs.
Mhm.
Okay, that's good. Megan, do you have any insight into that? You might be muted. Sorry.
I was muted. I'm sorry. My hands are soft muted. She doesn't really have anything.
Okay. Salam, do you have any thoughts on that going forward, on how you worked with news outlets maybe in the future?
I don't have any insight on external referencing, but I think that any content that comes from Give Basic Needs resulting from our work should be considered good enough. It should be considered more organic and genuine enough to because apart from what we may gather from research, which will be from external sources, every other information that we provide will be as a result of our operation and will be the first-hand producers of such information. So I think it should qualify.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Benny, you're back. I don't know if you're having network problem or if you can hear me, but you're muted right now, Benny.
Yeah, hello?
Yes?
Yes, I'm sorry about, I don't know, the app it kept freezing, so I had to connect using my laptop right now.
Okay, no problem. So we were just saying that we don't, Elena had mentioned that we should use a press release document to give to the news agency, and then the news agency will be able to link in the press release. There'll be a link to the research paper that I created, and the news agency will write based on that. You think that's good enough for Wikipedia?
Yeah, sure. I think that's good. Yeah, with that they would whatever they are writing would be in a way we want it to be, but still maintaining the neutrality coming from them.
Right. Okay. So I need to know if who's leading the media outreach effort? Is that Salam or is that Benny?
That's
Yeah.
Ben.
Okay. Yeah, but I think last Salam reached out to some of the media outlets in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we can just pick it from there. Yeah, I can speak with him and then we'll see how we can.
Oh, okay. So I just need to know who has the lead on that. Is that who's going to actually work with the media outlet to get them the press release or whatever it is they need? I know, Salam, it's probably easier for you to handle. Well, it doesn't matter. I guess, Benny, you can create the purchase invoice as well. But we were going to couple the purchase invoice for the media post in Salam's next project, which is 75. So that we could get it done, and it can be out there for a little while before we try to write from the blog post to the what's Wikipedia. So who will take the media lead? Will that be Benny?
So I have the connection with the media houses because
Okay.
of my previous works with Dash Roadshow when I used to do media engagements for promotional purposes. So I still
Okay.
have those relationships, and sometimes writing to these media houses and for them to get your articles out can take you weeks before they will respond to you because a lot of people go after them, especially the leading media houses. So I had to rely on my existing network with them, and so the multimedia group have a general marketing manager who, being the leading media group in Ghana, the other media outlets are connected to them as well. So, and the general manager of marketing is a friend. He got me in the media exposure. So when we still have very good contacts. So he was the one I quickly reached out to.
Okay, so let's do this. So let's make it that Salam leads this effort with the media houses because of his contacts, and then Benny, you'll provide Salam whatever it is he needs to get to the media houses.
All right.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, good. Just so we know whose priorities it's on and who is responsible for the media actually getting out, and we can follow up without having back and forth discussions. So Salam, you'll take the lead on that because of your connections, and Benny, you can provide the research paper to Salam, whether that's in printed form or digital form, and then you can create the press release using the Notebook LM. Does that sound good for the paper?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, yeah, because I think you can just specify in Notebook LM that you want a press release for that source to go to a media outlet, and it'll just crank it out.
Okay. Yeah. Just one quick question.
Yeah.
Is it the same information that we would be feeding to those different media houses, or we would have to always feed to a different media house?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand the question. From what I understand, we're trying to right now get the research paper that I wrote that references the impact of the U.S. aid being defunded and the role that Give Basic Needs is playing in filling that gap out to the media houses, whichever one Salam picks based on his contacts and the funding that he receives through his purchase invoice for Project 75.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I was just asking.
I think Ben's question was that so our first media release, is it just I listed a number of media houses, I think about 5 or of them. So his question is the research paper, the first article or press release or so let's say our first press release. Are we sending it to just one media house, or we are producing 5 different articles for 5 different media houses? And Ben, this is what I think about it. I think that we shouldn't release so much information at once. We can publish the research paper now, maybe through a number of weeks, and in a week or a couple of weeks, do another story. And the more have different media houses carrying a particular story about us, the more people get to hear about it, the more legitimate it becomes. And I mean, it sends a strong signal that media houses are interested in what we do. But if we send all different information, for instance, we prepare 3 different press releases and send it all out in 1 week to different media houses. Media house A is posting about USAID and Give Basic Needs Effect. Media house B is posting about our boreholes. Media house C is posting about our food at the same, within the same week. I think the information would be too much, and like any other person, just like Wikipedia, would suspect that we're actually doing this just to qualify.
Yes, I agree, Salam, and I think is what to answer the question, the way I'd like to approach it with the president's approval, obviously, is with each given, just like, so like how we kind of made the rule that we were going to put $14 on each blog post on Facebook to try to get more followers. I'd like to put, as part of each project that happens in Ghana, the dollars required to output a media house post. And so if this costs, let's say $300 US, we just build that into the purchase invoice, Salam, as advertising, and then or media publications, whatever. And then this is why I'm kind of wondering if, instead of giving the research paper, and this is to Elena, instead of giving the research paper to the media house, maybe we should give the first of the 5 blog posts to one of the media houses. So Benny has condensed, essentially, or broken down each of the. So we have a series of stories that are turned into blog posts, right, Benny? So we're going to have 5 for this research paper.
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we just provide, Salam, since it needs to be broken down and be a bit smaller, maybe we should provide the blog post content to the media house for them to write based on, and then provide the research paper as well and say, here is what I want you to write about. And then the next media blog post the next post that we do, we give to a different media house. I don't know how to do it. I'm open for suggestions, but I think part of the budget should be media house outreach to build our foundation on relevance and the fact that they're picking it up. Let's get Ben's and Salam's thought on that and the president's thoughts on that. Anyone else's, that it should just be part of our budget right now to take our story to the media houses as with each project that's done in Ghana.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good way to proceed for sure.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the Facebook money. It's just $14. It's just the fact of doing business. It's part of what we do to create happy. You agree, Abby?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, Benny, how do you feel about that?
I think that will also help in terms of the pacing of each post we'll be rolling out. Yes. Just as Salam was mentioning out, that it's very good the media houses talk about the same thing around the same time. Yes, what I wanted to add is that even with the 5 posts we currently have, they are all broken down from one parent post, and each post still talks about the main topic in the beginning of the post as introduction, which is about the US aid cuts and how it's affecting global health and also particularly in health in northern parts of Ghana. So yes, so my question too is, what if we make the first post and it takes a long time before we have another given event, because we will have all this budget is going to be added to the given event, the purchase invoice of every given event. How would we handle something like this? Since the post will now be rolled out depending on given events we will have.
I'm sorry, Benny. I don't know if I understand the question. Let me try to. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say Ben should come again. I don't understand.
You know, from what I heard, the budget will be given for the press release and added to every given event we will be holding henceforth. So Salam is currently working on a given event, which we are looking at having one of the press release added.
Yes.
After that is released out, how often, because now everything will then be dependent on the given events we have. So if we are going to take a long time to have a given event, that means it's going to take that long for us to have another press release. That is what I want to get a clarity.
I see. Okay, so here's the way we should do it. Salam, and with the president's approval, I'd like to not incorporate the budget for the media houses into the Project 75. I'd like to create a separate media project, or I guess maybe, yeah, purchase invoice should just be, yeah, so under 75. Yeah, so Project 75 is directly correlates with the U.S. aid impact. Does everyone agree on that?
I have a suggestion. I'm not stopping. I just want to suggest something before you proceed. So how about we just treat our media, let's say our media outreach as an independent activity, and since it is in Ghana, we tie it to the office. So that every time we have something that we think we want the media to carry it out, we can just create a purchase invoice for advertising or media or press release or whatever we would name it. Tie it to the office instead of maybe tying it to projects or events.
Yeah, I think it's good, but my only concern is it doesn't I think it's a good idea. My only concern is that it doesn't show what we really spent on the project, because 75 is a perfect example. And so you brought to our attention the impact that USAID was going to have on our operations. I wrote the research paper and got it out, and now we're doing project number 75, which is a medical clinic at the office, which directly ties to the fact that USAID is cutting budget. So in this case, it's really tied to Project 75, I would say, the media outreach. And if we tie it to the project, it also looks from a financial perspective better, because it's a project expense, not an office expense. So I'd like to step back with my original comment about adding and this was to Benny's confusion about putting putting a line item, if you would, in the purchase invoice for every project to have a media outreach aspect. I don't think that that's a good idea anymore. I think is what we should do, Salam, is that for each project that we feel is tied to medical in this case, because that's what the research paper is about and what we want the media to talk about, we should build another purchase invoice for each media outreach we want to do against Project 75. So it's very straightforward, and those can be done. We can create one that's an overall budget, and I can, like, let's say we set a budget of 800 US on that Project 75 outreach promotion. Then you can figure out, based on Benny's work and your contacts, how much it's going to take to get our message out to 2 or 3 media outlets, but it should be tied to the project. And then if project number 82 comes along and it's a borehole, let's not do anything with that right now because we don't have the research paper written. But I plan on writing a research paper every quarter, and my next research paper will be about boreholes. So if project 82 in the future has to do with boreholes and there's a research paper that's been written, then we can go, that's written objectively, we can go ahead and provide that to the media outlet through a separate purchase invoice for the budget that Salam and the president do agree on and is within our scope. So we don't tie it to every Ghana project because I agree with Benny, it'll add confusion as to what funding is going for the promotion of what media outlet research paper. Better we just say, we have a research paper, we have a problem. It's that USAID funding has been cut, and this is going to impact our operations. We've written a research paper objectively talking about that. We're now going to write 5 blog posts, and one of the outlets that's going to come from that research paper is that we're going to do a medical event, number 75. We're going to do a medical clinic, number 75, Project 75, and that Project 75 will have a research paper media outreach budget of 800 US, let's just say. And so if that's the case, then it's up to Salam and Benny to figure out, and with Elena's help or Megan's help, what actually goes to the media house to write about that research paper. This way we get recognition for our actions, and there's a direct tie between it and the research paper, which we plan on referencing as we build out our Wikipedia presence. Does that make sense, Salam and Benny and Presidu and everyone else? Let's start with Salam. What do you think about that?
Yes, I think that makes sense. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
So maybe in the future, if we are doing media engagements on boreholes, maybe we can attach the purchase invoice to the specific project that goes with that as well.
Yeah. And then this way it doesn't look like it's administrative overhead expense. It looks like it's a direct project related expense, which it is. Yes,
I agree.
Okay. And Benny, does that clear things up for you?
Yes, this sounds more clearer now. Yeah.
Okay, great. So we've identified a problem. We write the research paper. We do blog posts about it on our social media, and we provide content to the media outlets to advertise about the fact that we're being impacted, and this is the solution, and give basic needs as reference. And then we write the Wikipedia using this third-party source, which gives us credibility. I think that's the best approach. Does somebody, should I draw that for the group, Benny or Salam, so that it's clear, or does everyone have it clear in their mind? I can draw a quick picture of it.
I think it's clear enough, yeah.
Okay, great. Great. Elena, do you have any thoughts on that? And so I think Elena pointed out the key is that when we do the media outreach portion, we should have a press release generated based on the research paper to give to the publishing house. Right, Elena?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Okay. So Elena was actually she worked in a newspaper house, a publishing house, and wrote op-ed type posts and knows how a newsroom operates kind of from the inside. So they kind of expect press releases. So that's really good insight. And then yeah, so I think that's helpful. I might draw it just so it's straight in my head.
Yeah, well, I was going to say it's a good idea to draw just for longevity. So like we
Yeah.
understand it now, then there's a picture and then we can reference it, in the future and stuff.
Right, and this is maybe something that we should tie into our project workflow, that it would just say, if there is a research paper, this is what you do.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, Benny?
Yeah, I think that would be good for future work. Yeah.
Okay, then we'll tie that description into a task that's around media outreach or social media outreach. Okay. Okay, Luke or Danny or Elena, Megan, do you guys have anything else on that before we move on?
Sounded good to me.
Okay.
Me too.
Okay, great. Okay, next topic. That takes care of the blog posts and the Wikipedia.
Yeah. Mentors?
Yeah, I think that's important.
Okay, so we've been having discussions with Ben and Salam to see if there's individuals that they work with or see a potential for being able to possibly take over their positions or support them in the future. And so if Ben, if you wouldn't mind kind of describing or telling us about the individual that you're considering, and yeah, just tell us a little bit about, and maybe what qualities you see in the individual that you're mentoring or will be mentoring.
Yeah, so I have someone who has been helping me for quite a while now. When I was currently away here, he was the one I handed over my camera equipment to be handling some of the activities that were happening within Nalerugu. Was, when I was initially posted, I was posted away from Nalerugu to a different district. So over there was kind of a village. So he's the one I handed over everything to handle. Yes, aside that, it's been very helpful too. There was a vacation I organized a class on basic computer skills. He likes to also do research. That was just basic for kids. He was always assisting with that. Anytime I'm not around, he comes to. Not so in depth, but he's someone who is committed to learning. And I think I've also gone with him to some of the given events, and I've introduced him to Salam before. Yes. So actually, I have two people I'm looking at, which depending on who is the best fit as we are observing them. Yeah,
Great.
I've been to the events with two different people, so I'm just observing them, and not to raise their suspicion, but looking at who is more interested in activities like this, and who is more dedicated to offer his knowledge to activities like this. So along the
Yeah, that's perfect, Benny, and I think that's great because as we grow, we're only as good as the people we surround ourselves with, and I think we all need to realize that. And so it's really critical that we observe. And again, it sounds like you trust him with money. If you were able to lend him your camera, that's a very important part of your life, and so that's another level of trust that is good that you have with these individuals, and I think that's great work. And yeah, we look forward to further updates. And I think the Presidio had mentioned to me that those individuals really, if we can get them in Discord, that would be helpful. Just to follow the discussion, personally, maybe invite them to Discord. The link is obviously on the bottom of our webpage, but then they could follow along and we could interact and see how they interact, even if it's with emojis, or if they do have feedback or comment, they could begin to contribute in that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I just thought that was a good idea to see, their, I don't know, what do you say? Not connection to our work, but like their belief in our work and their support in our work. That, not to say that if you tell the individual, hey, join here, they won't, but, maybe they will, maybe they won't. And then just to see how they do interact. And, if they're reading, like Kevin said, emojis or putting in input or anything like that, if you feel that wouldn't raise a flag to them, like, oh, they're asking me to be in Discord, maybe I don't have a position or whatever.
Yeah, I think that would depend on the way I introduce it to them. But I'll just I would know how to introduce it to them so that they will just feel like it's a learning environment. It's an opportunity for them to learn and explore more. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's great, Benny. And again, it's not a requirement. It's just a suggestion that might show you and us their level of commitment to the organization. So that's great work, and it's great that you have two. And the more people you can put on your paper, the better, because I'm like I said, we're only as good as the people we surround ourselves with. And so that's really
great.
important.
All right, Salam, what about your mentor or mentees?
You might be.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. So, like I've said before, there are two guys. One has always gone with us to our events. I think in one of our visits to the communities for the recent 3 boreholes, when I got to Gushegu and I wasn't feeling too well, he went with Ben and to the communities. I had to wait for them in Gushegu town, and he actually did very well with Ben's guidance, actually.
Nice.
Yes, but just like Ben said, sometimes the way you introduce people, people have expectations when they hear of NGOs in Ghana and in northern Ghana. So when you are getting them involved, and you don't take your time to let them actually get to understand that it is, one, a learning process, two, you must have the appetite for delayed gratification, and you must be willing to serve and not be expecting that it's an organization where you are coming to enrich yourself. People would come in, though they are committed, but with a different set of expectations. And when they are not meeting, when those expectations are not being met within an expected time they have in mind, their commitment would vary. Sometimes it may not vary, but like I've always said, when it involves money, I don't like to trust people in everything. I want to know you very well and know what I can trust you with. So that so yes, we there are a number of guys. My biological sister in particular is also much interested. But and one of the guys Ben was also telling me about, was telling us about. I actually feel very more comfortable with him, but he's also a cousin to Ben. And I was just telling Ben about him, I think last week. That I like his demeanor and the attention he pays to details anytime he joins in our events, and he do also come for our events. So I was telling Ben to equally pay attention to him because these are people we can trust, people that because of the relationship, they will not want to do something to mar your credibility or integrity. So you can trust them and still be able to give them some directions and guidance. It's not easy bringing in a total stranger who comes in, and then here we value a lot of certificates. So the person may come in and feel like, oh, I got the opportunity because of my qualifications. Though I was telling Ben that we started working together when we had not even completed school, because with Give Basic Needs, I have never for once heard us discuss degrees. But a typical Ghanaian getting a job thinks it is because of their qualification, their knowledge, their whatever. But this is an environment where we learn from each other, we carry each other along. If you don't know anything, we are willing to share and build together. So we need people who actually understand that and not come in feeling big and feeling that you cannot direct them what to do, because looking back at the commitment we've made so far to this point, if you come in based on my trust and I see you are doing something that would jeopardize our effort or our growth, I wouldn't just watch you. I will not let it slide because I think you are somebody I brought in. I will give it to you if I have to give it to you in code. And it's not everybody that will take that lightly.
Yeah.
So while we try to build a succession plan for the organization, we must do it in a way that the people that come in actually align with our vision and are willing to learn and take guidance from us as well. Yes, so it's something we are paying attention to. So yes, I agree. We can begin to invite them to join in some of our meetings and maybe get interacted. They will also feel being given the opportunity to interact with you. I would say people at the top, and that can boost their morale. And we'll see if that would push them to put in more effort or not. Then we can measure it from there. But I wouldn't want to put them permanently on Discord for now until we are sure of their interest actually. Yes.
Yeah, I think those are great points, and those are great values and things to look for in an individual that we want to work with you and that to be a mentee for you. So that's great, perfect.
Yeah, and I think you hit on a very important topic, is that certificates really don't matter, nor do degrees, because if you're willing to learn, you can learn just as good as anyone else. What matters is the quality of your heart and your intentions, and to be able to observe those from a distance before welcoming them into the family, if you will, is important, because those things you cannot change. The way that they are committed to the greater good as opposed to enriching themselves. Those things are things that you have to take time to learn, but you also cannot change them typically. And so.
So do you think that they still should join Discord?
No, I think you guys are doing great, and you just keep the lead. Just know that soon, I hope we have more work than both of you can do, because I want you to know that we are trying to grow this organization as fast and as smart as we possibly can. And I refuse to grow in an unsmart way. So this organization and the president agrees that we're not going to just grow to grow. we're going to grow smart or we'll wait. So I think it's important that you are the eyes and the ears on the ground, both of you, and it's very, very important, and I'm very grateful that you're both communicating with each other about the qualities and the traits of these individuals, because one person's perspective may not be enough. You may need to rely on each other to know this individual as well before you even welcome them to Discord or before you invite them to a meeting or whatever it might be. So you're doing great. Just know, I hope in the future that you have to tell me that we need to slow down or we need more help, because that's the rate at which we're trying to grow. And I want to have people lined up so that we know who these individuals are before we try to take on any more growth. So I hope that you understand our position, that we're not just interested in growing, but we need to grow smart, and that we value all the same things that you're saying. And it's not about certificates at any level. I don't care if you have a doctoral degree or you have a master's degree or you even have a baccalaureate. It doesn't matter to me. You can be someone from the village with no certificates and no education and still be a part of this organization. I think the president agrees.
Yeah, definitely. That was something I would do when I was looking to hire nurses, is that I would take them into the milieu of the facility to see how they interacted with the patients. How did they interact with the other staff members? Were they nervous because they were, mental health patients? Were they comfortable? How did they react? So that's a very good and important thing to do. I think in the interest of time, we're going to move next to speaking of scaling, speaking of potentially having a lot of work. Salam, could you update the group on our potential partner with donations regarding the boreholes?
Just briefly. You might be muted, Salam.
Sorry.
That's okay.
So I came to Accra 2 days ago, and because I had to meet some friends who came from Germany for a short visit. They just went back. So on my way, I had a call from Warhana that a friend had reached out to her that she knows some Arabs who are interested in providing boreholes for deprived communities, and that she wanted to link her up to take the opportunity because her friend also lives in Accra. And, though we have water issues across the country, but mainly it's in the north. So she also reached out to us because she knows what we do, and she has no experience in that. And so she reached out to find out if it was an opportunity we would like to take. So I told her we were interested, but I'll get in touch. So having informed you, I got back to her. She has referred her friend to all our social media pages, our website, for them to go through and really get to satisfy themselves that we have the experience and we've been doing this for years. And we are hoping that they will reach out. Whatever information they will request that is public, we would direct them because we have all our information out there.
Yes.
I also made her understand that she should let her friend know we are one of the most transparent organizations, and anything they want to know, including our financials, they should just go through and request. We will provide that for them. So I'm holding on in waiting for feedback. Yes.
Perfect. That's great. And I think another growing opportunity that we potentially have, we were discussing with some friends in Tacoma, and the impact that the demolish or whatever dissolution of U.S. aid has happened and the impact it has on us. And one individual works for a company named Boeing, and they employ how many?
160,000 people across 70 countries.
Yeah. And so we were talking with them and potentially bringing an individual on the Ghana trip next year in April. And so the thought is to do like a fundraising campaign with them, whoever brings in the most money, or do some kind of, campaign with them. And then the individual that wins, or the top person, whatever, would join us on the trip to Ghana next year. And one important point is that what Kevin has made is that when you get in with a corporation and they see what you do, they trust you, they make a donation to you, you are on their radar essentially. So future giving, future donations, future fundraising opportunities, whatever, they would look to an organization that they already worked with, they trusted and knew.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so I think that, we have a couple opportunities that we, as Salam said, we are being transparent with. And I wanted to discuss on this call just briefly as we did, so that everyone can see that that we are actively pursuing donations now at this point, and we have some large players involved. And soon there may be more work than we can all do, but we need to realize that just because the dollars are there doesn't mean we're going to accept them. We have to have the staffing, we have to deliver quality work, and we have to continue to do what we've been doing. And I think that, as Salam pointed out, we need the Presidio, we need myself, with Salam, with any donor, whether they are in any country, to sit down and discuss what their expectations are, because we truly believe in the under-promising and over-delivering motto, and that's a critical piece of our organization. We would hate to, for example, take money from an individual or a group of individuals, whether they're in Saudi Arabia or anywhere, and then not be able to deliver on those because of resource restrictions, because of weather that we didn't plan for, because of just a lack of resources in general, whether that's time, talent, or treasure. And so we need to be able to deliver. And that's why, as I pointed out with Salam, is that it's critical that he engage the Presidio and myself in all these donation requests, so that we can make sure that we're capable of delivering. And if they offer to do, let's say, 10 boreholes and we're only comfortable with 5, that's fine. We'll take 5 now, and we'll take 5 more when we're done. But we will not take more than what we'll not bite off more than we can chew. And so this is a critical aspect of our organization, and that from the beginning, it's about delivering, and it's about delivering in a manner that is transparent and trustworthy, and provides, not only creates happiness, but reduces suffering. And so it's really good that we have these opportunities. We should all be very proud. This is because of all the hard work this group has done, and I hope that we continue to do this, and look forward to these types of donations coming in, because once the fire's lit, if done right, it can burn very fast. And so we just need to be careful of the growth and manage that. And so that's on our radar. And excellent work to getting out there. And I think one thing that Salam said, and I want everybody to realize, is that Salam said that he had an individual who knew an individual who didn't really have the expertise in the north on how to put boreholes in. But what did they do? They turned to our organization. And I think that that's super important, because we've already established our presence in the north of Ghana as being reliable, trustworthy, and ability to deliver on what we say and do. And so we're already becoming the experts in that region. And I want everyone to know that that's the first place we'll become experts, but it won't be our last. So
sure.
great work, and I hope that that's well received, and I'm open to any feedback that anybody has on that. Great.
Perfect. All right.
Good.
Just a few more things to wrap up. We had some discussion in Discord regarding Salam's current medical event number 75, and because of USAID and the exchange rate increase in what the test kits cost. And so Kevin and I chatted briefly before this meeting, and Salam, we decided to go ahead and fund all of the test kits. And so put that in the purchase order, please. And if we have, a surplus, that's fine. Obviously, we're not looking to build inventory or anything like that. But I know and trust that you will, like in the past, use it wisely in the test kits. So that's just wanted to update you on that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's primarily around the typhoid. We decided that moving forward with the typhoid was important, and that those test kits. I think that the thing to know, Salam, is that even though we have a place to store them store test kits, whether they're typhoid or otherwise, in the office securely, it's important that we don't build inventory and that we continue to work through our inventory stock so that things don't become out of date and we become less efficient. So if you think that you're going to buy 1,000 test kits for malaria, then clearly you wouldn't buy more than 1,000 typhoid, and then obviously work any inventory into future medical events in hopes that we can get that inventory to zero by the end of the year through other giving events or other means.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. I think we had an example when I think somewhere last year we did a medical event in Gushegu where we received some malaria medication donations, but we were not able to exhaust it, and we had to do an event somewhere in November just to get it all out because we didn't want it to go bad. So yes, I will make sure we manage the inventory well.
Great.
And that is why sometimes I would prefer to get more hands so that we can exhaust it than use fewer hands and not be able to serve everyone and have test kits sitting there.
Yes, exactly. Because the worst case is to not perform the test and the test expires. That's the worst case.
Yeah.
Great work.
All right, just a couple more things, and these have been our priorities, I guess, if you will, even though we're on holiday. So as you saw, we did do a given event in Coldfoot, Anchorage, on the way up past the Arctic Circle.
Alaska. Coldfoot, Alaska. You said Anchorage.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Coldfoot, Alaska.
Yeah, Coldfoot, Alaska. And so it was kind of spur of the moment. We were debating, do we do it in Fairbanks, trying to find a community. And we happened to stop in Coldfoot out of necessity because we needed gas. And the only gas station happened to have a diner attached to it. We went in, paid for the gas. There was this amazing woman named Trish, or Titi, as she goes by. And we connected with her, and spur of the moment, they were having an all-you-can-eat prime rib buffet, and it was a very busy diner to where a lot of the truckers stop by for fuel. Locals come there a lot for heating oil and also food and dinner as well. And so we gave the credit card, and thankfully they were just able to keep a tab running, like a gas station does, and so we gave her the tab, and she did it. They did dinner that night until about midnight. The buffet ended at 9. Then after 9, they could order off of the menu. So they had cookies, they had soda, they had coffees, other things available. And then we kept it open through the morning because they also do a breakfast buffet. And we ended up serving about 75 people for about $1,500. And so that was just a great spur of the moment event, and worked out very well. People were very appreciative, and we even got a donation from that event as well. She was a tourist, and 2 women came in and they were doing a tour, and we were talking to them, and they went in, ate dinner. She came out, she's like, I made a donation. And so it was awesome. It was great. And so being in Anchorage, we are looking at possibly doing another one here. Where we're staying at currently, there's not a lot of low income around. They're like, 10%, 3%. Something that was interesting to me was there is Air Force Base here, and that Air Force Base has 39% poverty rate, which I just thought that was fascinating and interesting. Not that I think the military, people who are in the military are rich, but to know that base has such a high poverty rate was mind-blowing to me. But we just don't know how we could enter the base and do some type of giving event there. So we're kind of looking around today, discussing what options we're going to do, and see what we can do and bring some happy into Anchorage.
Yeah, for sure. And so, I mean, part of while we say we're on holiday, it's really starts after next week. But this has been exploratory on what opportunities we have available in Alaska in the future to do giving events, and grateful to be able to feed those people in that low income community and provide some warm hot meals. And I'm actually I need to work on the sizing of the video for Benny, but that should be out later today as we're here now, and I'm able to do a little bit more work. So hopefully I'll be able to get that video and those pictures out. Abby, President, who created the project last night. Benny, it's 76. And so we will go ahead and proceed. I'll need a location to upload the images, etc. But yeah, it was a great event, and grateful to be able to do that for sure.
So speaking to the group, does anybody have an idea about the Air Force Base? Any ideas or suggestions, anything like that possibly we could enter?
I think this goes maybe more to the U.S. folks, but rather than the Ghanaians. But yeah.
I have no idea.
We can barely hear you,
Lou. Good, baby. Go ahead, Luke.
I don't think you can just go. I don't know how to get onto an Air Force base.
Yeah, that was my question, because I know when I have had to go to the bases in the past, you go there, you give your license, and you say what event you're you're attending or going to, what individual you're seeing. So that's unfortunately kind of what I thought. I didn't know if we could just go up to the gate and say, hey, this is what we are doing, or if they'll look at us like we're crazy, or if they'll say, hey, that's great. But that was the kind of challenge that I was finding the same, Luke, as far as can you just do that? Okay.
Great. Okay. Well,
right.
I think in the interest of time, we can wrap.
Yeah. Do you have anything else, sir?
I don't have anything else.
All right. Danny, Megan?
Nope. As far as the Air Force Base, I think you should just walk up there.
Okay.
Yeah, just go up there and talk to them.
Just try it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Okay.
who knows? They might call the fucking colonel down or whatever, and he'll talk to you guys or whatever. But the worst they're gonna say is no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good point.
And you are U.S. taxpayers. It's technically our land, bastard.
Right.
Okay.
Good points.
Perfect.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. Elena?
Nothing from me.
All right. Awesome. Salam?
Yes, I have something to say. Yes, but this goes to the CFO. So regarding the media budgets, which I'll be including in the purchase invoice. How many media houses are we looking at? So that I would, because I think I provided the figures when I got them, so I can just refer to the figures and and include that. Then second, regarding our registration of the Kolosi Family Foundation in Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I haven't set up the purchase invoice. I was supposed to do that 2 days ago, but I didn't because I spoke to the lady, and this time around, she says she want me to give her hard dollars because I made her lose money the other time. So what I did was that when I receive crypto, I do peer-to-peer trading to convert it to cedis. And USDC, we were getting it for 9 CD 50 pence worth, and at the time she was making the payment, she actually had to get dollars to pay because it's an external organization and our payments had to be dollar denominated as quoted by the Companies Act.
Okay.
Yeah, so and she had to get the hard dollar from the black market because usually the banks would advertise, let's say 10.4, but when you go to the banks to buy the dollar, you won't get it because they sell to the big men, and some of them too actually give the dollar out to, we call them aboti in Ghana here, for them to go out and sell at a higher rate on the black market so that they can make profit. So she had to get it at the black market. But because I had agreed with her on the rate, immediately I received the money, I pushed to her account. So she, according to her, she made some losses. So this time around, she want me to get her hard dollars. So I just want you to know the exchange differentials. Now, peer-to-peer, we are getting a crypto dollar for 9.8. The merchants buy it from us at that rate and also go and sell. But a hard dollar, as at Friday, was about 10.6. Yes, so I would do that calculation and set up that purchase invoice as well. Then also
hold on. I can't keep it all in my head. So let's take the last one. So okay. Yeah, you do the exchange rate on the purchase invoice for the Kolosi Family Foundation registration, and then we'll pay that invoice.
Yes, okay.
And then but then you had a previous question I've already forgotten because I got lost in the last one.
Yeah, so the previous question was about the media houses.
Yeah, the media. Okay, so do the media as just do it as a line item on Project 75, and let's do. I think we'll do. I don't know how many we should. So we'll have 5 posts, 5 blog posts. Should all of those go out to the same media houses, or to different media houses? I guess they should, right? So let's take the average price of all the media houses, divide them by get an average price, and then multiply that by 5. Does that sound good?
Okay, so I am okay. So that we will do it. I think that we should take maybe 5 media houses, but we have 5 different blog posts to make.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I was thinking is we send one post at a time.
Yeah.
So we can pay for I can budget for the 5. We'll pay for it, put it down for the 5 blog posts. Put it down, then we pay for one and let all the 5 media houses we select, or 4 or 3 of the media houses we select, to publish one post at a time.
Yeah.
Because it is more marketable when we have Ghana Web posting a story, My Joy Online is posting the same story, Star FM Online, or Ben TV3, then what's the name? City Online is also posting the same story. It will go very, very viral. So we can do that for each of the 5 blog posts at an interval that maybe Benny and Megan and Elena would decide. So I will include that.
Okay, yeah. So do you have any idea what that number will be?
I think the highest was 6,000 cities, and that was by Ghana Web.
Yeah, Ghana Web.
And they have the highest outreach. Yes, they have the highest media outreach, and that was about $631. Then the second one, I will have to trace the figures, but I can trace them and then reshare them.
Yeah, or better yet, just put the number in the purchase invoice, and then we'll talk if we need to adjust it.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
that's how.
The last thing I wanted to ask.
Yeah, that's how we should handle that. Yeah.
Is before we go off is so I think we should hold on when Colosi Family Foundation certificate is ready. Then we can do the amendment of Give Basic Needs to put it under Colosi Family Foundation. Because I wanted to also get an idea of how much it will cost for the amendment so that I can add the fee for amendment to the fee for the registration. But I think that probably I might spend the fee for amendment before it is ready. So, so I'll just wait so that when the certificate is ready, we'll do the amendment as we want.
Yeah. And we can put these under the office as individual purchase invoices if you want, and I can pay them in smaller amounts if that's easier for you, or however is fine. And I think the key is to make sure in the descriptions of the purchase invoice you say what the fees are for, like registering of the Colosi Family Foundation, re-registering the Give Basic Needs organization as a subordinate under the Colosi Family Foundation, etc.
Okay. So I would set up just one, and it will be for registering of the Colosi Family Foundation. I want us to do the re-registering when we are done with the Colosi Family Foundation.
Yeah.
Or for the sake of beating time, maybe in a week or two, we could start the process for the re-registration of Give Basic Needs, because we need the certificate for Colosi Family Foundations to be out, so that we'll use that certificate to re-register Give Basic Needs.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. And that's good progress on that. And again, not to make haste of the timing of it. I think it's important, but right now we have nothing pressing because we can accept U.S. dollar donations, we can accept crypto donations, etc. So we have opportunities, and we haven't begun the grant process yet. So I think this is good, just upfront work that we need to work through. And so to work in a timely manner is important, and also to make sure that things are documented in those purchase invoices. And then should questions come up, we can discuss them individually as they arise.
Okay. One last thing.
I
think I hope I'm not holding the group to host.
No. This is why we're here. It's very important. Communication is the most important thing that we do as an organization.
Okay. So I think this came up last 2 weeks in our Friday meetings. I'm studying the trend of the appreciation and depreciation of the cedi against the dollar. I think globally the cedi is the second most, arguably, some say it is the first most performing currency right now. So, and looking at this exchange rate differentials, that I think it adds $1 or $2 to our cost every time. Maybe I just want to put this across to the CFO and maybe the entire group, that going forward, we can be doing some thinking about it, and each of us can do some research about it. that when we are set up, maybe we can keep some CDs in Ghana so that some of our events, we wouldn't have the budget scaling up in dollar terms, just to take care of changes like this.
Yeah, and I think that the key decision on that is very complicated, right? Because you have currencies that are appreciating and depreciating, but then you also have rates of return on investments that have to be calculated in. So, for example, we have to look in what's called real terms from an economics perspective. So, if the dollar depreciates against the CD 2%, but we're earning 15% on our investments, then we're essentially have a real return of 12%. If it goes, that's the real return then would need to also take into effect what kind of return we could get from the bank for holding CD. So if the bank is giving 2%, let's say the bank is giving 2%, then we're benefiting by 10% to hold it in US dollars, because essentially our rate of return is 15. We're losing three to the dollar depreciating, and we're losing 2% that we could be getting on our Ghana CD. So essentially our net is 10% if we invest it the way we are. Now, I'm not saying those numbers are right. I'm saying it's complicated in that we have to look at what kinds of returns we can get from the banks on our CDs as opposed to what we can get in our brokerage house and our current investments. And hopefully after my holiday, I'll be able to look a little bit more and share a bit more on our investments. I know I wrote the paper explaining our investments and our position on our investments, but we should really look at those returns at the banks and what things we can invest in Ghana to get those returns up. I don't know what our actual return is right now in our portfolio in the U.S. I think I don't even want to say because it's fluctuating so much, but we'll definitely have to look at all of those positions, and that's essentially the way, as the CFO, how I manage the portfolio, is I look at where I can get the most return, and then what my currencies are doing, and so and then what opportunity expenses I'm incurring or losing because of what I'm doing. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. So we have it's a great idea to hold CD. I want to hold CD because that's what we're doing business in. But if I can get a better return, a net return, then I would hold it in whatever currency. I mean, I hold the yen. I'd hold anything. I can get the best currency and the best investment in, net again. So let's continue to all of us think about that and see what kind of balance. The question I think I hear Salam saying is, how much of our portfolio should be invested directly in Ghana CD? With the CD appreciating, what makes the most sense? So that's the question I think that Salam is asking, if I heard it right.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Very good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Those are all very important topics that needed to be discussed, and I appreciate you taking the time to discuss them because they're important. Okay.
Perfect. Luke, do you have anything else?
No, I'm all good.
All right. Awesome. Well,
Benny.
Oh, sorry, Ben.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything else.
Okay.
Well, thanks for a great meeting, and appreciate everyone's work, thoughts, input on this call, and have a great rest of your day or evening.
Yeah. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.